As Miss Cobell arrives in the seaside town where she grew up, she notices how the town has fallen onto seriously hard times. This is due to the fact that the Lumen-owned factory that once supported the town has closed, and much of the remaining population is addicted to the drug ether. Yeah, I guess the fact that Lumen founder Kier Egan met his wife Imogene here had no bearing on the town whatsoever, because the town itself is clearly in a state of decay. But Harmony pays a visit to her old pal Hampton, and despite the tension between them, Hampton agrees to secretly drive Cobell to see her Aunt Sissy. I guess Cobell didn't want to drive up to the house on her own, since Sissy has become a pariah to the town, but she also believes that her car would be recognized by any kind of Lumen surveillance that is still in the town. And if you think that sounds a little paranoid on Miss Cobell's account, she's the one who was raised by the company, so she would know what they would do better than anyone else. And I do mean raised quite literally, since she reveals that she was a child laborer at Lumen in this episode. So I don't think there's anything this company wouldn't be above doing. So she sneaks into her aunt's house, where we learn that Sissy is also a Lumen devotee who once worked for the company herself. She even admits that she received a phone call from Mr. Drummond before Cobell arrived. So it's likely that they've already anticipated Cobell's arrival at the house. Regardless, it doesn't take long for Cobell and Sissy to start arguing, and it's during their argument that we learn about Cobell's mother, who apparently died of an illness while Cobell was away at a Lumen-run boarding school. And that really has to sting, because it shows that Harmony Cobell basically dedicated her entire life to this company, and now she's literally on the run from them. And I don't even fully understand why. Because they're afraid of what she knows? Then why did they even separate her from the company? They clearly know how to keep someone hostage against their will, so Lumen definitely dropped the ball by letting her go in the first place. Especially considering that Cobell didn't return home because she was feeling all nostalgic. She's home because she has evidence that proves that she's the one who invented Severance. That's right, the Severance procedure and the Severance chip itself were both invented by Cobell. How crazy is that? I didn't even realize Lumen was a company before Severance. So what did they even do as a company? But the Egans took credit for her work, and they've been lying about it for years, and Cobell only went along with the lie because she was afraid of being banished from the company. But now that she's already separated, there's nothing to stop her from taking this information to the public, if that's what she even wants to do. Because while this episode did drop a pretty big bombshell on us, it still left us with plenty of unanswered questions. What does Cobell actually want from Lumen? Does she want to be brought back into the company? Does she want to prove that she's still a Lumen loyalist even after all that the company has put her through? Or does she want to hurt the company for throwing her out and casting her aside after everything that she's done for them? What is her ultimate goal here? And what is she going to do now that Devin and Mark have called for her help? Is she going to help Mark with his reintegration, or is she going to help reverse it? Is she going to turn Devin and Mark into Lumen like Ragabi insisted she would, or can her character actually be trusted? I don't know, but I definitely want to find out. So, despite the fact that this was a Harmony Cobell-centric episode of Severance, I can't deny that I thoroughly enjoyed it, especially since I've been wondering about where she's been for most of the season. But I'm also looking forward to seeing what she's going to do next. So I can't wait to see the next episode of Severance once it gets released on Friday.